Welcome back to Automotive. From the moment the camera lands on the front of the 2026 Toyota Fortuner, time slows, and everything else fades into the background. What stands before you isn't just a vehicle, it's a monolith of modern engineering, sculpted to reflect dominance in its purest form. The front grille, wide and assertive, immediately signals the arrival of a new chapter in Toyota's SUV legacy. Its dark chrome slats are bold yet refined, drawing the eye inward like a portal to raw mechanical potential. The LED headlights, sharpened and poised, glow with an almost predatory intensity, hinting at the strength that lies beneath the hood. They're more than lights, they're a declaration of intent, that this Fortuner is here not just to drive, but to conquer. The contours on the hood ripple like tension in muscle, rising from the grille and tapering toward the windshield in a flow of aerodynamic artistry. Every angle, every line has been reimagined for this next-generation beast. But it's the paint, oh, that immaculate white, that transforms this power machine into something almost ethereal. Under showroom lights, it reflects like a pearl in moonlight, elegant, pure, but commanding. The bumper sits low and firm, with matte black details that add contrast and edge, as though the Fortuner is wearing tailored armor built for both gala entrances and jungle trails. As light plays across the metallic finish and casts reflections on the marble floor, one thing becomes unmistakably clear: this Fortuner doesn't follow the trend, it defines it. This isn't just the front of an SUV. This is the face of power, purpose, and prestige. It's the kind of vehicle that stops conversations, turns heads, and reminds the world that Toyota still rules the high ground of adventure and luxury alike. If first impressions are everything, then the 2026 Fortuner just made history. As the camera glides along the side profile of the 2026 Toyota Fortuner, you begin to understand, this SUV isn't built just to be seen. It's crafted to be studied, admired, and ultimately revered. The silhouette is a masterstroke of proportions, long enough to command presence, yet tight enough to whisper agility. From nose to tail, the Fortuner exudes a kind of balance that's rarely achieved in vehicles of this size, muscular yet elegant, intimidating yet inviting. That pristine white paint, echoing the shade from the front view, continues its visual symphony across the doors and panels, glistening under the ambient glow of the showroom's soft spotlights. It wraps around every line with intentionality, like a tailored suit clinging to a broad-shouldered athlete. The character lines stretch across the length of the SUV like ribbons of movement, sculpted to enhance not just looks, but aerodynamics and aggression. They're subtle in some places, bold in others, creating tension and release like a cinematic arc unfolding in motionless metal. Now focus on those wheel arches, flared just enough to assert dominance, yet seamlessly integrated into the side panels so as not to break the Fortuner sculptural flow. They house massive alloy wheels that seem ready to tear through any terrain, whether it's a sand dune, rocky trail, or the cobblestone path of an elite urban district. Each wheel is a monument to both function and flair, the diamond-cut finish shimmering under the showroom lights like forged jewelry for a titan, and then, the side steps. Perfectly placed. Finished in dark steel with brushed metallic edges, they don't just offer utility, they offer visual continuity, anchoring the floating design and adding a grounded, military-grade layer of readiness. Chrome accents stretch along the door handles and window trim like fine jewelry, not too loud, but absolutely impossible to ignore. They glint with authority, forming a visual bridge between the Fortuner. Now take a moment to absorb what might be the most photogenic, the most powerful, and arguably the most emotionally charged angle of the 2026 Toyota Fortuner, the iconic 3/4 front profile. This is where form meets presence. Where you don't just see a vehicle, you feel its character. And when viewed from this angle, the Fortuner becomes more than an SUV, it becomes a force. Your eyes are first pulled to the front grille, bold, commanding, unapologetically massive, flanked by razor-sharp LED headlamps that cut through the air like jet blades. The gloss black mesh sits inside a deep U-shaped frame finished in brushed chrome, signaling the fusion of luxury and aggression. Toyota has carved this front to speak. Not softly. Not with whispers. But with the confident voice of a leader, as you move along the curve, the white bodywork seems alive, stretched over muscles that look ready to pounce. The hood arches rise like a sculpted brow, emphasizing strength, while airflow contours dive into the bumper with aerodynamic precision. The bumper itself, layered, athletic, armored, is not just functional, it's sculptural. A fusion of off-road durability and urban sophistication, the headlights gleam with technological brilliance. L-shaped DRLs pulse with energy, flanking bi-beam projectors that don't just light the road, they announce your arrival. And just beneath them, the fog lamp enclosures wear metallic accents that add a layer of boldness without being overdone. It's a perfectly choreographed dance of light and shadow, of edges and reflections. Step inside, not just into the 2026 Toyota Fortuner, but into an environment where every inch breathes authority, elegance, and craftsmanship. This is the captain's seat, the throne from where journeys begin, where decisions are made, and where the pulse of the road syncs with the rhythm of technology and luxury. As you slide into the driver's seat, you don't simply sit. You are enveloped. The first sensation is that rich leather, soft yet structured, stitched with precision, contoured with pride. The bolstering of the seats hugs your frame like a tailored suit, not too tight, not too loose, but confidently firm. Toyota hasn't just upgraded the seating here, they've created an environment that invites both command and comfort in equal measure. The color palette? A masterpiece in tonal harmony. Deep espresso black meeting creamy beige in a symphony of contrast, while subtle ambient lighting runs under the dashboard and door panels like a gentle current of sophistication. Ahead of you, the digital instrument cluster springs to life. Vibrant, responsive, customizable, this isn't just a display, it's a command center. Real-time driving data, navigation overlays, adaptive cruise visuals, all presented with futuristic clarity. And right behind it, the steering wheel, multifunctional, leather-wrapped, flat-bottomed for a sporty edge, bears the Toyota emblem like a seal of excellence. It's adorned with tactile controls that let you take charge of music, calls, drive modes, and voice assistants without ever leaving your grip. Now let's open the rear door and step into a space that doesn't merely accommodate, it indulges. The 2026 Toyota Fortuner redefines what it means to be a backseat passenger. Because here, sitting in the rear isn't just about being transported, it's about being honored. Slide into the rear seats, and you're welcomed by a cabin that feels less like the back of an SUV and more like the executive lounge of a private jet. The same exquisite dark beige and espresso black leather continues its journey here, stitched with surgical precision, wrapping around seats that are sculpted for both posture and pleasure. These aren't just cushions, they are armchairs on wheels, offering a recline that respects your spine and a softness that caresses your every move. Stretch out, yes, go ahead, the Fortuner offers legroom that rivals sedans in classes above. With the front seat intelligently contoured to add more knee space, and the floor flat enough to allow comfortable foot placement, long drives transform into serene retreats. The cabin is whisper quiet, insulated from the world, so you can truly lose yourself in a podcast, a conversation, or simply in the hum of luxury. Above you, ambient white lighting flows gently through the ceiling, a soft glow that complements every mood and moment. It's subtle, never glaring. Elegant, never flashy. Look to the sides, and you'll notice how the wide windows, finished with satin chrome edges, invite natural light in like a luxury suite, connecting the outside world without overwhelming your sanctuary. Let's rise above now, quite literally, and look at the 2026 Toyota Fortuner from a perspective that reveals what most SUVs try to hide: true form, balance, and aerodynamic confidence. From this elevated top-down view, the Fortuner doesn't just hold its shape, it commands it. Every curve, every crease, every contour is part of a larger design language that speaks to power, luxury, and precision engineering. What do you see first? That bold, sculpted roofline, stretching with elegant aggression from front to rear. The white paint gleams under the soft yet deliberate illumination of the showroom lights, reflecting not just shine, but identity. This is a vehicle that wears its silhouette like a tailored suit, structured, Composed, and ready for anything, front and center on the roof sits a panoramic sunroof, a portal to the sky, inviting natural light by day and stars by night. It's seamlessly integrated into the structure, not an afterthought, but a bold signature. The black contrast glass of the sunroof plays off the white body with artistic tension, minimalism meeting muscle, framing this aerial vista are sturdy, flush-fitted roof rails. But don't be mistaken, they're not just aesthetic flourishes. These rails stand as a promise of versatility, ready for roof boxes, adventure gear, or whatever your next expedition demands. Whether you're heading into the city or escaping far beyond it, the Fortuner is built to carry your ambitions. Notice the roof's aerodynamic design, smooth yet deliberate. Subtle channeling lines curve alongside the edges, sculpted not just for beauty, but for airflow efficiency. Toyota has engineered every millimeter to minimize drag, optimize fuel economy, and keep wind noise whisper quiet at high speeds. This isn't just styling, it's science in motion. And now, we arrive at the final shot, a moment of stillness, elegance, and cinematic closure. Whether it's the sweeping interior or the full showroom panorama, this frame isn't just a view, it's a story frozen in time. The 2026 Toyota Fortuner stands here not as a vehicle in a display case, but as a living sculpture, composed of power, purpose, and unmistakable presence. Let's start from the environment. The showroom is drenched in premium sophistication. High-gloss marble floors reflect soft lighting like a stage beneath a spotlighted actor. Glass walls let in golden hues of ambient light, casting long shadows and subtle reflections on the SUV's polished white body. This is a space that whispers luxury, not just through architecture, but through the vehicle it's built to showcase. As the camera gently floats through the frame, we get a glimpse of the Fortuner's cabin, a cockpit of modern engineering and timeless design. The door stands ajar, almost inviting you in. Inside, the leather seats, stitched with exquisite craftsmanship, wrap around the bolstered cabin like a luxury glove. The dashboard, with its sweeping horizontal layout, glows with ambient mood lighting, warm enough to feel inviting, sharp enough to feel high-tech.